So, you've heard the stories from Saudi Arabia, and by the way, not all of them are nightmare stories, you'll be pleased to know. Some of them actually end up with happy endings. So here joining us today, Faith Murunga is in the house. She had a nightmare experience in Saudi Arabia, but right next to her, Lorna Jerop actually had a pleasant experience. And standing by in the background, live on Skype, is the Cabinet Secretary for Labour and Social Services, Simon Chulugui. Let's get on it. I know you guys have a lot of questions and a lot of comments and maybe even questions for the Cabinet Secretary. So, Lorna, you first. Welcome, first of all, both ladies. Welcome. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So you, Lorna,
yes,
you went to Saudi Arabia back in 2014.
Yeah.
How did it happen? Tell us, walk us through that. How did it go?
Okay, this time I'm just seated around and I just wanted to do something. My life was not doing well. I was looking for a job. I didn't get a job. And then I was like, if I could ever get a chance to go outside, I would. So one day my neighbor just comes and tells me, by the way, can you get someone who wants to go outside? I told her, I want to. Then she asked me, are you serious? I said, yes, I want to. So we started the process and everything, and I never paid for anything, by the way. At the end of the day...
And you got all your paperwork, you got your passport?
Everything, within exactly 3 weeks, I was in Saudi Arabia.
Did you know what you were going to do?
Yes, they told me. She told me, but because what I did, I prayed a lot. Because even back then, we used to hear a lot of stories about what happens there, about the mistreatments, people dying, people being killed, suicidal. So I just said, let me just go, let me try my luck, but I prayed a lot. And I went there. I met the best boss, Mr. Ali. He was the best of the best. I found the best family. I had two families. The guy was married to 2 wives, so I used to stay in this house, and but I used to take care of their grandmother.
And they all treated you well?
All of them.
And
all the families.
And you loved being there?
I loved being there.
No problems, no issues?
No problems, no issues, apart from what we call homesick.
That's it?
That's it.
How many times did you come home in those 3 years you were there?
I never came back home.
You were there straight 3 years?
Because the contract is for 2 years. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Faith.
Yeah.
Yours was completely the opposite.
Terrible. Terrible.
Nika tunaongea 2 different countries here, eh?
Terrible, yeah.
Go on, tell us.
Okay. My journey to Saudi Arabia, it started like this. After it was we go to training. After exactly 14 days, I was in Saudi Arabia.
Training ilikuwa wapi? Hapa huko?
Syokimau. Yeah, after Syokimau, that's training. After training,
training kuwa maid ama kuwa?
Yeah, kuwa maid, the way you can handle hao watu wote huko. In case ukienda upate mtu mgonjwa huko, unaweza mhandle aje, watoto wa Arabu wachapu, washautiwi nini. So unafundishwa hizo vitu zote, kupika, kufua na mashini. Wengine wetu hatujaiona mashini ya kufua. So unafundishwa hizo vitu zote, kupiga pasi hizo manguo zao. After that, mnaenda Kiambu kuchukua good conduct. Tukaenda Nakuru, passport. After 14 days, niko kwa ndege.
Straight?
Yeah.
Okay. Upon arrival, family walikuwaje?
Okay, upon arrival, they took my passport.
Immediately?
Immediately. They took my passport. Kuingia kwa nyumba, the first day, wakanipatia chakula, nikakula, nikaenda, nikalala. The next morning, vitu zilianza kuwa mbaya. The next morning unafanyishwa kazi, unatoa vitu juu, unapandisha chini, unatoa juu, ukirudisha chini, unatoa chini, unarudisha juu. Okay, first day, second day, third day, I thought that hii job itaisha. But si kwa vile nilikuwa natarajia. Hiyo job ilikuja ikakuwa mingi. In a period of 2 months, I was tired. And then kukakuja na kitu. Watoto walikuwa gapi? Watoto walikuwa, nikiingia kwa hiyo nyumba at that time, watoto walikuwa 2, so mtoto wa 3 akakuja nikiwa.
And you were the only maid?
I was the only maid because the family was not that big. Wana bado anaishi kwa mama juu. Now kukakuja na hii dawa. The second month, kukakuja na dawa na mwekea mara 3, asubuhi, jioni na jioni.
Huyo mama?
Yeah, okay. After that was not part of my job. I did not sign for that. Mimi nilikuwa housemaid.
Unamaanishaje kuweka dawa?
Okay, nilikuwa namwekea dawa sehemu za nyeti. ya sehemu za siri. So nikaanza kucomplain, niliweka hiyo dawa like 2 months.
Every day?
Yeah, every day, thrice per day. Asubuhi, jioni. Gloves ikakuja ikaisha. Wakati nilicomplain kwa mama, sikuwa ipatiwa dawa. Baba akakuja akaniambia, kwanza aliniambia kwa Kiarabu, akaniambia inti ijihina shughul, mafirohi Kenya, mafirohi maktaba, mafirohi anywhere. Inti hina khala shughul, khalas the 2 years contract, by then rohi Kenya, mafirohi.
Which means?
Nilikuja hapa kufanya kazi. Kazi yangu lazima nifanye. So hii kazi nafanya ni part of that job. So ni lazima nimalize contract yangu ya 2 years ndio nirudi nyumbani. And kumbuka walikuwa wameninunua, of which mimi sikujua. Nilijua kama nishafika huko nimenunuliwa. So hata nikicomplain, there's nothing they can do. Pesa hawashakula.
Na wanakuambia hivyo washakununua?
Yeah, wanakuambia on your face. Inti jina anasa fulus kitiri.
But Lorna, it was different for you.
It was very different.
They treated you like what? One of their own, probably.
Exactly.
But you changed jobs several times.
Yeah.
Why?
So Jeff, after 6 months, those guys were so good. Then homesick hit me so hard. So one day I just told them I want to go back home. They asked me, "What did we do anything wrong?" I said nothing, but I just want to go back home to see my baby. So the agent that took me there, he was an Arab called Abdullah. He came and he asked me, "What is wrong? Is there anything I can change?" I said nothing. I just want to go back home. So they told me, since now you want to go back home, and I paid, that time he told me 12,000 Saudi Riyal, which is like 300k Kenyan money. So he told me I paid a lot of money to bring you here, Lorna, you just want to go back home now. And I was serious, by the way. I just want to go back home. Something these guys want, they need tough people. If you be soft with an Arab, mambo itakuwa mzuri.
So you have to be tough how?
Yeah, you have to be tough. Like, I don't know how I can explain it. You know what, wapole. Ukiwa mtu mpole, you stand and you know when to talk, how to talk and where to. Not just like that. Unakuwa rada. Like when she said that kuna kuangana, what do we call, sijui bunduki nini. Ukiona bunduki pale pia usibonga mbaya.
Uliona bunduki?
Yes, kuna bunduki.
But Faith, you were abused. I mean, you went through hell.
Yeah, I went through hell there. It was a hell.
But what Lorna is saying is, you know, lazima ukae ngumu.
Yeah, lazima ukae ngumu, lakini kuna ile ngumu ukikaa, unaona wewe ndio unaumia. The more unakaa ngumu, because nilivumilia kwa hiyo nyumba a period of 1 year and 6 months. I started complaining after New Year. Ya kuingia 2020. After New Year, I started complaining. I called my agent. After kupigwa ile kipigo ya kwanza, I called my agent. Like
physically? Like,
yeah. Yeah, kupigwa tu ile tu mzuri unapigwa.
Kwa nini ulichapwa kwa nini?
Okay, lilipigwa juu kwa sababu lilitumwa finjar. Finjar is a cup like this. Now, mimi sijui finjar ni nini. Nilileta kijiko. So wakati nilipatiana kijiko nikalingwa nayo. Huyu jamaa kaamka akanigonga, akanipiga, kanishika ile kunishika hivi. Enda vinjari ni hii. So unaonyeshwa ndo hii ndio vinjari. The second one nikagonganisha kichwa kwa ukuta juu wakati sasa nilianza kuambia madam, I did not come here to do this one. This one is not part of my work. My work is just to look after your kids, to cook, to wash, to clean the house. That's my work. Even in my contract, that is what is in my contract.
Si labda ulikuwa kichwa ngumu wewe?
Yeah, no, I was not that. Okay, uko uwezi kuwa kichwa ngumu. Unaona hiyo mang'aa yenye tunakuanga na hapa Kenya. First of all, you have to know that this is not your country. So you don't have any relative there. The only relative you have there is your phone. And sometimes some of us, we don't have that access to the phones. Now, utapeleka wapi kichwa ngumu, Jeff? Lazima utanyenyekea. So hata ukiambiwa zoa kinyesi na mkono, you will do it. Ukiambiwa do anything, you will do it. Lazima unyenyekee. So I try my best kunyenyekea kwa ile nyumba na kichapo yote na mateso yote. Chakula ni mara moja kwa siku. Unakunywa chai strong tea na hubus mara moja. That's it. And I'm working na lala saa 9 na amka saa 3 asubuhi.
Kila siku.
Kila siku, yeah, kila siku.
But Lorna, that was different for you.
Very different.
Let's ask the Cabinet Secretary here, because I'm very interested here. Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Services, Simon Chelugwe. I'm sure you're listening to these stories, sir. You know, we hear more nightmare stories from Saudi Arabia than the good news stories. What are you getting on your desk? Because I'm sure you get a lot of complaints right there at the ministry.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for this opportunity to address Kenyans on this topic and migration to Saudi Arabia. First and foremost, Jeff, I would like to thank the two ladies for bringing out a number of issues. There is a good story and there is a bad story. But I want to state that labor migration is a source of employment and livelihoods for migrant workers, and one of the avenues of technology and skills transfer. We have had this migration for some time, and there are a number of pull and push factors that drives this migration. Despite all these benefits that we would have expected, we would not really got there because of issues of smuggling, issues of trafficking, and inadequate preparation of the migrant workers. So as we speak, Jeff, we have about 97,000 Kenyans in Saudi Arabia. And as we speak, as at today, I've been informed by our labor attaché, we could be having over 200 Kenyans in, some on the deportation or on transit back home. So, driven by a number of factors. Some of them are run away from their previous contracts, and employers have reported these Kenyan workers to the authorities. However, ours is the smallest. We have our neighboring country. It's reported that there are over 40,000 of them in deportation camps. So, government has taken note of this. We acknowledge the challenges our Kenyan people seeking, looking for opportunities and sources of livelihood, some income, some employment across the Middle East. So, as we speak, we've taken a few initiatives as government to address some of the challenges being facing our Kenyan migrant workers, particularly in Saudi Arabia. Number one, we did renegotiate our existing bilateral labor agreement, which was signed way back, and we are now at the final stage. And these are part of the activities I intend to finalize when I visit Saudi Arabia, possibly within the next 30 days. And one of the objectives of this trip is to engage deeper on protection of our migrant workers. We need assurance on payment, some basic welfare issues like leave, and also mobility or flexibility of the contracts, so that in the event of any challenge between employee and employer, the employee is allowed to change employer. But,
okay, Minister. Let me stop you there. Okay, fine. It's in the final stages. By the way, I'm shocked to hear that there are 97,000 Kenyans in Saudi Arabia alone. I guess a lot of them, like Faith here, their feeling is they feel like they're being treated like slaves. That's how they feel. Is part of the agreement going to change that?
Jeff, the treatment that we are hear from our ladies and some unskilled labor is part of the discussions that we are going to have in Saudi Arabia. I intend to meet the Ministry of Employment, and I also intend to meet the other authorities in Saudi Arabia, including our embassy, and possibly work out a relationship between employer and employee.
Okay.
Possibly look at the employment relationship, terms and conditions that these Kenyan workers are facing in Saudi Arabia.
All right, stand
It's also good
by.
to-
Stand by, Cabinet Secretary. I'll come to you in a moment. Faith,
Yeah.
you got no support from any Kenyans officials over
No,
there, did you?
no one.
Akuna?
No one.
Embassy?
No one.
Did
No
you try?
one. I call even embassy guy there. Aliniongelesha vibaya sana. I call one guy there. Aliniongelesha vibaya.
Akasemaje?
Aliniambia if ile language ile mbaya, I can't use it here.
Akakutukana?
Ya aliniambia you are girl. Ndio ufanye ile kitu yenye wenzako pia wanaweza fanya ndio ufanye kazi. Yeah, if you need help fanya ile kitu yenye wanataka ufanye. So mimi nilienda kufanya kazi. Mtu ananiambia nifanye ile kitu yenye huyo bosi anataka, like kama anataka alale na mimi nilale na yeye basi ndio nifanye kazi. Unexpect mimi nilale na yeye, mimi najirespect juu niliacha bwanangu Kenya, niliacha watoto wangu Kenya. Mimi kilichonipeleka huko ni nini? Kazi. Na hii kazi nimeona si ile kazi nilikuwa nimekuja kufanya. Nimebadilishiwa. Napika outside catering. Nafanyia mama nini hiyo nursing. Naangalia kazi ya nyumba. Tunafanya kazi hapa, tunatoka hapa naenda kwa mama yake, tunafanya kazi, natoka hapa ukienda kwa brother tunaenda tunafanya huko kazi. Hiyo kazi zote ni mimi. So wakati unaitisha usaidizi hapo embassy, no one.
Yeah.
How about you, Lona?
No.
What she's saying is true, because even though I never went through all she went through, what she's saying is true. By the way, tuseme tu kweli. The embassy there, they're not helping at all.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, Jeff, the time that I've been there, outside there, we've had people suffering. Like there was a girl that was brought to us, she had cancer. The embassy, they won't do anything. Sometimes even you'll go visit them and then they'll say, time embassy meisha. In fact, they are doing nothing. And what I could advise the CS right now, what they want to do now, they have done before. And nothing changed. Remember till that time that Saudi was closed, no people are going to Saudi. There's a time they say that they'll be providing something like dormitories. When you go work for like a month, you can go and have rest and meet other people. Well, that's what they told us when we were there. But that never happened. So when she says that embassy, they do nothing. If right now somebody dies in Saudi Arabia, Jeff, do you know that the girls that are there, they meet, they contribute. You are told everybody at everybody, they meet, they contribute. Kama ni 100,000, 10,000, wanatoa narudisha mtu Kenya. Where is the embassy that time? The embassy, they come mpaka ile dakika mwisho. Like there is a guy called Mwana wa Mary. I don't know if the CS knows him. This guy is working in Saudi. He's not an official. He's not a government official. Hakuna job anafanya government. But this guy used to take those issues kama zake. If somebody is sick, somebody dies somewhere, he could mobilize people and anawaambia, you guys, kwa WhatsApp ama kwa Facebook. He's known. Kujeni, tuchangie huyu tunafaa kupeleka mwili nyumbani, and he has brought many bodies back.
What's his name?
Mwana
wa Mary.
Oh, you know him too?
Right now he's arrested.
Mwana wa Mary.
Huh?
He's arrested, by the way.
Kwa nini? What did he do?
Since February, since February, Mwana wa Mary is inside.
Kwa nini?
No good reason. Nothing. Hajaambiwa nini alifanya. Just because, you know, anasaidia watu. And now, embassy naona wanaingililia kazi yao. Na wakamweka ndani. Amefungwa, hajafunguliwa mashtaka, hajui amefungiwa nini. How many months down the line?
Let's ask the CS if he's aware. CS, Jalugui, did you hear about this? The guy called
Mwana wa Mary.
Mwana wa Mary.
Junior, Mwana wa Mary Junior.
Mwana wa Mary Junior, who's been helping a lot of Kenyans, apparently in Saudi Arabia.
So many.
Has been under arrest since
February.
I'm not aware about that case, Jeff.
Okay, but he doesn't work for the embassy, or he's...
No, something, Jeff,
Go on.
You need guys to know. You see, the government, they don't know what is happening on the ground. He's supposed to know him, by the way, if they follow up. And if they are going to sit down here and try and see what they can do about all this issue, let them include us. Because he doesn't know what goes down there. Me, I know what goes. She knows.
And you guys have your own WhatsApp groups, right?
Yeah.
You guys have your own Kenyan content.
Yes.
By the way, Bwana CS, why don't you engage the Kenyan community there? I mean, not you, you know, the embassy there in Jeddah, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they engage the Kenyans the way the Kenyans want to be engaged?
Jeff, I had the first forum since I took office last year. I've engaged agencies and some migrant workers 4 times. I've engaged those in Mombasa, agencies and Kenyan migrant workers, those who went and came back, and also those who are planning to leave for Saudi Arabia. We have further introduced the pre-departure training for home care workers, and this handbook has been developed and given to these migrant workers before they leave. And agencies who are engaged in this transfer of home care workers have also been sensitized. So in a way, I see this challenge being managed in the years to come. What we are dealing with is the past. My number of migrant workers who left 3, 4, 5 years ago are suffering or are experiencing this kind of challenges. But over the period, over the last 2 years, we have intensively engaged the authorities in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, hold on, CS.
Although we have not achieved what we want, a lot is happening. And we believe with these efforts, we will be able to arrive at a certain, at a better position as a country or between us and Saudi Arabia.
Okay, stand by, CS. Faith, you only there, what, 2 years ago, right? 2019?
2019, I came back on June.
And na Kenyans wale wako huko wanateseka.
Wengi sana wanateseka. Kuna Wakenya wako deportation. Hata niko na picha zao. Wanalia wanataka usaidizi. And now since they saw me with you on Hot 96, they need my help. I don't know how to help them.
So wakiweko deportation?
Yeah.
Ni kama holding cell ama ni kama?
Ni kama they're waiting for their deportation to come back home. Of which some of them watariliziwa wakuje nyumbani. Niambie msichana alitoroka juu kwa sababu ya mateso, amepelekwa deportation. Huyu boss anatoka anaenda kumwekelea makosa, aliiba. Now you have to case with that boss. Either you win, utakaa hapo, hiyo kesi kama itamaliza miezi 6, mwaka 2, miaka 3, utakaa hapo mpaka ile siku yenye boss atakushikilia. Lakini at least kukiwe kwa hiyo security, msichana ametoka kwa boss. Kuna mtu anasikiza huyu msichana na kuna mtu anasikiza huyu boss. Kuwekwa watu wote mahali pamoja. Msichana anajililia, boss anasema. So mnaona hata utaiba hiyo kitu, utaiba gold. Umeweka wapi? Umepeleka wapi hujaiba? So unaekelewa kitu yenye hujachukua. Unapata umeshikwa, nyumbani wanakungoja, hawana pesa, like me, hauna pesa. Unafaa urudi nyumbani ujilipia ndege. Huyu boss anakataa kukulipia ndege. Embassy ya Kenya haiwezi kukulipia ndege. Na unajipata hauna kitu yoyote. Unakaa huko.
By the way, how much do you make a month roughly as a maid?
As a maid, mwenye ako kwa contract 23-24,000.
Yeah.
900, 23-24, 900 DSR, 23-24.
Lorna?
Yeah.
About?
Yeah, 20 inalingana na nini?
Na red 27-28.
Yeah.
27-28.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But there is something, Wahiga. Oh, sorry. Jeff. I'm really sorry. Gosh. There is something. Oh God.
I think we'll take a break on that note as I gather myself.
Jeff, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wahiga, are you watching? Lorna's talking to you. Keep tweeting. It's okay. Don't worry. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is JKLive. We have great stories, real stories about real people in Saudi Arabia, folks. And you may have some questions for the Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Services. Let's have them. Your comments, questions. Hey, it's your life. If you want to live like this, it's up to you. If you want to see greener pastures, it's up to you. It's what you make of it. Jeff Koinange Live takes a break. We'll be back with Wahiga in a moment.